Today's show is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering our listeners a free audiobook with a 30-day trial membership. Just go to audibletrial.com/beat and browse the unmatched selection of audio programs. Download a title free and start listening. It's that easy. Go to audibletrial.com/BEAT. You know, Dave, I came up with an epiphany today.
Epiphany?
Actually, it wasn't even today. It was literally like...
It's a $3 word.
Yeah, it was literally like an hour ago. I came up with this epiphany.
Oh, okay.
And the epiphany is... life's a bitch. And she's in heat. What up? Welcome to Super Throwback to the Classics. What up, people? What's going on?
Who starts a show that
I don't
way?
know. I just like, it's such a good line. Welcome back to Super Throwback to the Classics, the cinematic movie podcast that takes you back to the iconic films of 20 years ago and beyond on the Big Three, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. I'm your guy, Jay Alonso. With me, of course, he is...
Danger Neff, or as apparently Jay's now calling me, Maestro Neff.
Maestro Neff.
Maestro Neff.
Hit me, Maestro.
Yeah. That doesn't even sound like a chef's name. It sounds like I'm like Chef Boyardee. You know,
No, you're Chef Dave cooking up the pot.
Chef Dave cooking up these hot buns.
You're chefing. You're super chefing.
How you doing, bud?
I'm good, man. I'm really good. As you can see, we're doing another 2-show week. We will not do this again next week.
No.
But you know what though? It's all a part of the game, it's all part of the hustle because we like what we do. We love what we do. I've been in the studio way more than I wanted to be in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, but you had the new show drop.
The new show drops tomorrow. By the time you hear this show, the show will drop tomorrow. Turn my mic up. Had a great first episode. I can't wait for you guys to see it and give us your opinion about that. Shout out to Corey. Shout out to Lowe's, Hollywood Kev. RJ couldn't make it on this one, but shout out to him. Hope everything goes well for him and his fam. And we had a blast, man.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Did seem like it.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. How was your week?
It has. You know what? Let's talk about Friday. Because Friday,
we're gonna go right to Friday.
Yeah, because the rest of the week has not been good. But I'm not gonna let that bother me. We're gonna talk about the good times of the Beat Network fam, along with Nitty, hanging out at this R&B only event. And let me tell you, I thought I knew black people. I thought I had them all figured out. Little do I know, the education
keeps
of Danger
on
Neff
coming.
just keeps on coming.
Keeps on coming.
Keeps on coming, man.
I
saw Skylar, basically Batista bomb a girl, and then apparently get her number from that.
Somewhere along the line, this is sexy. I don't know.
I'm just saying it looked like we were the NWA in there. Just kinda rolling up.
You're just not Jerry Heller. Like in this instant, you probably like a Ren, MC Ren.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
I'll call you Vanilla Ren.
Vanilla.
But no. We went on Friday. Friday itself was just a pretty dope event. We were kicking off your boy's birthday. As of today, we have not celebrated my birthday. Shout out to all the fellas. It was literally a fellas night out. It
really was.
And it was fun. It was so much fun. We got a chance to eat at Shaq's restaurant, Big Chicken.
All right, so what did you have?
I think I had like the Big Aristotle.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Which was a damn good sandwich.
The one with the Munster cheese?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the bacon, and I want to say it's like a certain like garlic aioli on or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah. I didn't join you guys for Big Chicken, but shout out to them because the food there is
Oh yeah, I'm definitely in neighborhood. If I'm in that neighborhood again, I'm definitely stopping at Big Chicken.
It's like right down the street from my job, so I've actually gone there probably a handful of times now, and I usually always get the Charles Barkley, which is like chicken.
I think that's when I think Los had the Charles Barkley. I think Nitty had the Jordan or something like that.
Yeah, it would be. Don't ask me. I'm like,
I don't know,
because a lot of it is just like nicknames that Shaq's ever had, and
right.
he stops by there apparently like
pretty often,
like once a quarter.
And it's crazy because, like, you know, shout out to Nitty because it's funny. The funny thing about Nitty was Nitty actually, which was supposed to go just to dinner with us and not to the R&B only event, he ended up riding out the whole night. So shout out to him for that. But he wouldn't have been there. It was so funny because Nitty orders his food as if he's Shaq.
Really?
And it was the funniest thing ever. He goes, "Oh, okay, so what's going on? What's going on? It's my man's birthday, but let me get the Barkley." I was like, the what? The Barkley. Why are you talking like that? It was great. But yeah, had a fantastic time.
They got like a full bar in there.
Yeah, man.
The area is so nice because it's like this like wood panel stuff that's like through and through on it. Mm-hmm. And the bar is super nice there. They got like a foosball table out in the corner over there. Yeah, man. I'm giving them free publicity at this point.
And it's well earned because the setup is pretty dope in there and the food is great.
It is.
I can't think of the lady's name that took our order, but she was dope. I mean, like, she had her Big Chicken facts down.
Oh yeah.
Anything you had a question about, she had a response, and it made you feel like, you know what, I'm about to fuck this chicken up. Like, well, I can't wait to get to it. Well, R&B only. R&B only is this event at House of Blues, put on by Colors Worldwide,
right?
And it's basically a party.
It was definitely a party, and I don't go to a lot of parties, as y'all can now obviously tell. The drinks were expensive as fuck.
As fuck, and like, Dave bought me a drink.
I did. I bought you and Los a drink. I got myself a Red Bull vodka double on it. Mm-hmm. That shit was $26.
I believe you.
I'm like, look, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to take my time with it.
I'm going to sip on this.
Because
it's me and you for a little while, man. Trust me. But it was cool. Like, the ambiance in there is really dope as far as what you actually paid for.
Right.
You go there because you're getting the vibes of we're just cooling out, going down memory lane with this,
right.
with this music that we ultimately grew up with. It's really not like super old R&B. It's like
2000s.
The 2000s, sure. Mainly the 2000s. You know, like
Pretty
Ricky
and
Pretty Ricky Shanti got some spins in there, and I just thought the concept was really dope. Can I do the same concept from my phone at my house? Absolutely.
It's an easy idea.
This is a playlist, but I salute the the hustle and then the vibe that it actually creates. Cause it was just a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time. I think the song that got everybody was, of course, Lil Jon, the East Side Boys. They dropped "Lovers and Friends," and everybody was into the song at that point.
I agree, but I also feel like once Pretty Ricky Grind With Me comes on, you know how everybody in the club gets excited about that one song. You're like, oh,
right.
That's black people for sure. So when Pretty Ricky Grind With Me comes on,
that's my education with now show.
Like that's it. Oh, so this is a good song because the whole crowd just said it.
Noted.
Got it. So when Pretty Ricky Grind With Me comes on, everybody just goes, oh, shit, wait a minute. I'm going to the dance floor. I'm about to dance with somebody. I don't give a fuck who it is.
And it kind of had it was predominantly black, but there were a couple, mixed races in there as well. Definitely like open to like everybody love everybody. They did not give a fuck about that at all. Which
I thought was really dope because there were times when we were on the dance floor and you were also on the dance floor as well.
Right.
And you blended like, hey, I'm here, man. What's up?
Like, what's up? What's going on? What's
Danger Neff. Call me Antoine tonight. Antoine Neff tonight.
In the morning, you can call me Maestro.
And in the morning, I'm Maestro. What?
But yeah, so Friday we did the R&B only event.
Mm-hmm.
I know I caught a little bit of the Wilder and Ortiz fight. Mm-hmm. You said you caught the end with this crazy ass knockout.
I literally caught the tail end of the fight because I had plans on actually going to a fight party, which got canceled last minute. So the funny thing, I actually spent most of my Saturday cleaning my apartment.
Yeah?
Yeah, and then I finally got a chance, got a chance to step out, I caught the tail end of the water fight.
Right.
And damn is the word to say.
You know what? He had been, from what I read, because I need to watch the replay of it. From what I read, like, he was setting up this right jab right across the temple of Ortiz, like all fight long, because he was losing the fight. And when I tell you, he dropped this guy like a sack of potatoes, and then he fell down an abyss. It was a void.
It was.
That dude was out. He was night.
For me, it's one of those moments where like you blink, you kind of missed it. So when it first happened, and I saw it live as it happened, I was like, he's on the ground. When did he get to the ground?
Right.
So when they did the highlights, like, oh shit. That little underarm hook
so
thing, I'm like,
it happened so fast.
Like, when did that glove connect with that man's face?
Normally in boxing, a flash knockdown, which is what that would have been considered if it wasn't considered a knockout. Usually, like, the dude usually gets up towards the end, which is exactly what happened. Ortiz did get up, but the ref took one look at me. He's like, He's like, nah. I cannot honestly let you back in there. You're gonna die. Son. He
couldn't do the Fury way of things, which to this day, Fury's like, you're not human.
Fury was Windows 95 restart is exactly what happened there. He gets dropped
when it's on the Windows logo for like 10 good minutes.
Right, it's there for 10 good minutes. At count number 6, he was like a machine. All of a sudden, he just like popped right back up. And you saw Wilder's face afterwards. He's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?
You're shitting me!
Like I landed 2 good hooks on you. How are you still alive?" Which we all wonder how Tyson Fury is mostly alive. I mean, that dude had so much coke in him; it's ridiculous. But gang, bro.
Fun fact for that. All right. Well, and also I gotta say thank you to everybody, the fans, all my friends and the family who wrote me on Facebook, called me on the phone, emailed me on this IG. A lot of birthday love over the weekend, and it really did make me feel special. So thank everybody out there for the birthday love. 32, and I'm grooving, baby.
32 and
grooving.
So
all right. So besides that, what else is up?
I mean, there's not really any movie news that kind of dropped this weekend. There is a rumor going around, and it's starting to get a little bit of traction now, that Robert Pattinson's having a little bit difficult time of bulking up.
You don't say.
I get it, bro. You're always going to be $140 soaking wet, which is fine. So just say $140 soaking wet, Robin.
We need some kind of muscle, bro. Something. We know you got the chops.
Take the protein. Listen, I can get you on a protein plan, bruh, right now.
We can buff you up. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's get weird with this.
Don't bitch out now, don't bitch out now, man.
But that's just a rumor that's going on. Like, I don't know.
I mean, you gotta take that with a grain of salt, because for all we know, you could already be pretty cut at this point.
Right, but you don't cut. You don't cut first. You bulk up, then you cut.
Well, as far as like the term, like he looking pretty cut.
All right, fine, fair enough.
Sorry,
I guess no, it's fine. You don't work out, it's fine.
Actually, I do work out.
I don't.
I'm back in the gym now.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
What'd you bid you, bro?
Back in the day, I think I can max at about 205.
It's pretty good
for my size, my height. There's cats that are shorter than me that can do like 250 easily.
Yeah, they got little arms. That's why they got these T-Rex arms that they're like.
My arms aren't like mad long, but at least I got some kind of reach. But I mean, I'm still a little person.
So you finally admitted it.
Oh, I'm not gonna not admit it
on the mic right now. You admitted it. It's kind of great.
I'm not gonna tell you I'm 6 feet and you're looking down like, motherfucker, you ain't no goddamn 6 feet.
I know for a fact you ain't 6 feet.
I ain't 5'7". But
we've had these conversations.
But
if you were on a bar stool and people were curious if you could touch the floor. If you were seated normally on the bar stool, you couldn't touch the floor.
Depending on the bar stool.
You would.
It would depend on the bar stool.
Your legs would be swinging.
It would depend on the bar stool.
We'd be calling.
It would depend on the bar stool because
we'd be calling you Dangles.
It would depend on the bar stool because technically, some bar stools are created where my feet can actually touch the floor. But But
it's not a real Barstool.
But Barstools are also created to look kind of cool on them shits because if my feet may not touch the floor, but guess what? I'm sitting super cool on that first level though.
Yeah. You're having a hard time convincing me, bro.
Nah, I don't need to. It's my life.
I just keep imagining these
No, and you'll never catch me.
little ass legs. Like
listen, you will never catch me dangling. I do not have a little man complex, but trust me, I'm not gonna look little. Outside of the obvious, but I'm not gonna look little. No, not at all.
Fair enough.
So, we got some bills to pay.
Do we got bills to pay?
Yeah.
All right, I guess we got some bills to pay.
Yeah, let's pay some bills.
All right, so today's show is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering our listeners a free audiobook with 30-day trial membership. Just go to audibletrial.com/beat and browse the unmatched selection of audio programs. Download a title free and start listening. It's that easy. Go to audible.com/BEAT to get started. Why Audible? Audible content includes an unmatched selection of audiobooks, original audio shows, news, comedy, and more from the leading audiobook publishers, broadcasters, and entertainers. I personally use Audible at least once a week at this point. I constantly flow through a whole bunch of different things. I very recently finished up Trevor Noah's Born a Crime, which is a fantastic little read onto his past in South Africa. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/beat. Again, that's audibletrial.com/BEAT for your free audiobook.
Yeah.
So
that's a good read.
Thank you. So today's show is it was sent over as a special request, and we're going to be the first ones to tell you it took us a little bit to get through this movie, but once the movie got going, it got going. Like I literally finished it. I scooped Jay from work, and that's when I literally finished the movie. Jay had only watched about 30 minutes of the movie.
And let's also keep this in mind.
Now
I haven't had a whole lot of sleep.
Hold on. Let me keep this in mind. Jay has had a huge weekend with turn my mic up. His birthday was here. So when I set the unreasonable expectations of Monday to watch this, it was a bit unreasonable. I'll be the first one to actually say that.
I was definitely do not want to watch this movie. Okay, real quick. This comes as a special request from a cinephobe, a fan of the show. We're gonna shout him out. Name is
Nick Opalewski.
Nick Opalewski, thank you very much for the suggestion, my brother. This show is for you. And of course, if you want to send in any kind of suggestions for Super Throwback or just Throwback to Classics as a whole, you know we do 20 years or more on the show. So if there's a movie that we have not covered that you would love for us to cover, hell, send it in. We'll see what we can do.
Absolutely.
With that being said, I started to watch this movie, but mentally, I'm tired. So I'm really not giving it much thought.
Bro, I'm there with you.
And I'll also admit this. I've never seen this movie. So we link up. I now begin to rewatch this movie now. I'm more caught up now. And it's the best fucking thing I've ever seen.
It's such an 80s cheesy movie. But it has a really,
it bleeds 80s.
It has a really great message to it, and I can't help but thank the requester for this because, especially in the times that we're in today, this movie is so prominent. It's kind of ridiculous.
It is. It honestly is. And if you don't know what movie we are talking about, we are taking it back to 1988 with John Carpenter's "They Live" as our super throwback movie today. Original release date November 4th of 1988, shares opening weekend with Everybody's All-American, The Good Mother, and U2 Rattle and Hum.
Okay.
All right.
Wow. Never heard of those.
Me neither. Production budget, $3 million with a box office total of $13 million. Currently holds a 86% on Rotten Tomatoes.
With a 79% from audience scores. Do you think that's fair?
86 is a bit high.
I think so also, but I can't really go lower than
I can't
80.
go lower than 80, or I can't go past 79. So I'm actually with the audience on this one.
Okay.
I can tell where this movie was probably not I can't even say that because it was such a high score. So I'd say I could tell where people who first seen it were like, I just don't fucking get it. So therefore, I don't care less about it. But then you can also see how it kind of become like this cult classic.
Oh, it's definitely up there in terms of cult classics. There's a decent amount to cover with this movie. Its impact on street art, especially with Shepard Fairey, the impact on the culture that kind of resembled the 2000s culture a little bit, the impact of kind of the media trying to control things as well as the corporate elite. There's a lot of messages with this movie, and I can't help but really enjoy it because of it.
This movie starts off incredibly slow.
It does.
It's just it's boring.
No, it's scene chewing. I can't say
it's scene chewing. I'll give you that. But
it's just not going anywhere.
It's almost immediately at the 30-minute mark, we're now going places. And I'm like, okay, now I see what's going on, right? And I feel as if the movie kind of knows that once you get to this certain spot, I'm going to hit them over the head with something crazy.
Absolutely.
And then once you get them, you have them.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? So, not to skip around. Well, actually, you know what? Let's set up the plot here. So, the movie opens with... Mm-hmm.
So, real quick, this is written and directed by John Carpenter. This is actually a bit of a weird movie for him. Carpenter has traditionally always been known as the horror master. I mean, from The Thing to his vampire movies, Halloween. There's not Carpenter's influences on horror flicks by itself will always stand the test of time. In fact, if you were to literally tell me, well, he's the best director for horror movies, I'd say, yeah, probably. He really influenced everything.
You won't get much of a pushback from that statement.
It's also played in a traditional sense. This role was basically set up for Kurt Russell. You could really tell that the unnamed protagonist, who his actual name is Nada, is John Nada, which they only release at the credits, is played by the WWF legend, may he rest in peace, Rowdy Roddy Piper. And I gotta say, for a guy who is limited, who's a meathead, he kind of was all right. When they gave him the line that he needed to deliver, he delivered the line.
With all that 80s.
With all that 80s
juice.
All that 80s. This movie is also stars...
Stop. When you come to a bank and tell them I come to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and you know what? I'm all out of gum.
That's as 80s as it gets.
Like, if I was in that bank, I'm like...
What?
Huh?
This movie also stars Keith David, who is always known in Carpenter films. The Thing, obviously being the first one that pops into mind, and he is absolutely amazing.
Keith David's great in this movie. He is amazing in this movie.
He really is. Definitely a more cult following with this movie than how it traditionally since this movie actually opens up with the loner Nada drifting through. He's walking across train tracks. And actually, it opens up with a beautiful shot of some street art that's showing in an unknown city. We obviously would recognize it as Los Angeles. That's pretty easy. Mm-hmm. But they really go out of their way to make sure they don't say what city it actually is.
When it's clear as day, it's LA.
Of course it's LA. But you could just tell that, coming from, like, the guy even said, I came from the West Coast. I was in Denver. I was in Denver for some time. I was there for 10 years, and then all the jobs basically dried up. This was a time that kind of takes a nice little shot at Ronald Reagan a little bit, mm-hmm. because you can definitely tell that the middle class and lower class definitely is focused on in this movie, whereas the upper class elite definitely has its issues. Anyways, so struggling to survive, Nada takes his job as a construction worker, and all his 1980s wrestler's body,
the jeans on this man are so tight. That was 80s fashion?
So tight.
Oh my word.
And he befriends a fellow...
Dave, I just thought about something else. I don't want to bring this up, but we are skipping ahead. how tight those jeans are. To get repeatedly kneed in the nuts with those tight jeans?
We'll get to that.
Oh God!
We'll get to that. He befriends a construction worker by the name of Frank Armitage. For those who are H.P. Lovecraft fans, Armitage is clearly a play on the Dunkirk murder mystery. I can't remember the name of it. I may even be saying Dunkirk, maybe Dunslow. Anyways, but Armitage is played by the legendary Keith David in his 1980s, t-shirt that he's wearing. It's not even a t-shirt. It's like cut off sleeves and whatnot. So you're just seeing, for a damn fact he ain't got no abs under that, but he's showing off them triceps like nobody's business.
Oh, I got the best triceps in the game.
So they basically befriend each other, and they make their way to this little shanty town, which is basically, it's a soup kitchen. It's a huge soup kitchen. It's a pretty well-made soup kitchen, now that I think about it. There is several trailers, going around here. People are kind of watching TV. You're able to get extra on your soup kitchen food, which doesn't happen with soup kitchens. You're only supposed to get, the one scoop, and then you go.
Yeah, get your scoop and get going.
Right. As they're watching TV, the TV kind of breaks into a signal with a bearded man who is disruptive on television, basically talking about some crazy conspiracy theory, right? But it's kind of going in and out, and everybody's kind of having a headache from it. Moving on a little bit further, you come to find out that right across the street is a church from the shantytown that it looks like this is where they're filming everything at. Right. Where Nada goes ahead and goes and decides to kind of scope out. There's a blind preacher there that is kind of preaching about the conspiracy theories. And one of the things that he really does, and this actually really stood out for me in the movie, is that he decides to really you could tell he's blind because he kind of spooks Nada, and he's kind of feeling up on his face a little bit, as if he's trying to figure out what's up with his hand, with his face, what's up with his hands. Does he seem trustworthy? Things like that, right. Which I thought was a little interesting. Then this kind of turns itself a little bit upside down, because the next day, Nada had recognized that there was a helicopter that was hanging out above this church. Mm-hmm. That evening, as he was scoping out the same church, because he's not really sure what to make of everybody, the entire goddamn army comes down on this church, destroys the entire shantytown, winds up killing everybody there, as if to try to cover up something or cover up a conspiracy. Police are there, and I mean, they're marching slowly with these batons, kicking the shit out of everything that existed there. Which I was like, okay, this is a little weird.
Now, he makes his way to the church after everything is said and done. Right. And he comes across this box.
Right. And he had seen this box before, but he didn't really recognize the importance of it. He breaks open this wall, grabs this box, and in this box there's all these sunglasses that are there. And he's kind of shaking and rummaging through, thinking there may be money or something. Of course, why wouldn't there be? Right. And as he goes, he decides to go and take a pair of sunglasses because, hey, he doesn't know, he doesn't have a place to live now. So he's just going to look cool, I guess. He doesn't really know what to do. He doesn't really understand the importance of these sunglasses. And then he puts them on for the first time, and the color from the screen goes to black and white.
What I do love about this discovery is that his immediate reaction to, okay, wait a minute, what?
Right, exactly. In my eyes, that was actually really good acting, because how would you normally act if you were suddenly your eyes went black and white? You would think that there's something wrong with the sunglasses. You wouldn't think there's something wrong with you. Oh, cool, trick glasses, right? Whatever. Then he goes and he puts them on while looking at the sky, but he's looking at a billboard instead. and the billboard just says, obey.
Obey.
And he's like, what the fuck? Takes off the sunglasses again. And it's just like some normal sign about IBM's whatever. Looks at another sign that's supposed to be advertising for a trip to the Caribbean, and it just says in plain black and white, marry and reproduce.
Which is in the same scene is so wild because the signs are one thing as far as like how things are kind of like what it's kind of showing you, but for me the shocking factor of that scene is when he's at the magazine stand, he has the back and forth with the one guy who was like, what's your problem?
Right.
But not only that, the guy leaves. He's already budgeted like, the fuck? But then the guy that runs that magazine stand, are you going to pay for that?
Right. Just looks normal. Like
he looks normal, right? So clearly there's the aliens and then there's the regular people.
Now, these guys, we have to talk a little bit about what these aliens look like.
But the currency says, this is your god.
Right. So... yes, I love it so much because basically he looks at this guy, and first of all, this guy is dressed up like a businessman. He's in a suit. He's clearly in a suit and tie and whatnot. Kind of has a little bit of a uppity speech about him. But when you look at his face and his hands, it's almost like a skeleton. Like almost as if you were to take like your face muscles and pull those all off except for like the surrounding cheeks and just have the skeleton, the surrounding cheeks. That's kind of what these aliens look like. Like, and just to kind of see it, like it freaked him out, obviously, but he doesn't understand like everything that's kind of going on. So this is kind of where the conversation turns a little bit into what does this all basically mean? Because he walks into a grocery store, and out of fear, he looks at a lady, right, who is skeletal, alien, whatever, right, and she was like, "You are fucking ugly, like you are really fucking ugly," like for the first time, as if really seeing like inside somebody, and he was like, "You have fucking formaldehyde face."
Like, ooh, what's that?
Like, right, okay. And she just responds back to them, "Oh, it looks like we have somebody who can see." What? Because now he's realizing that she knows she looks that way. She knows she looks that way, and now he's figured out that she knows that she looks that way. He steps outside, doesn't realize he likes the scene, looks at a girl who's checking herself out in the mirror, but of course has a skeletal face and whatnot. And he says, that's like putting perfume on a pig. Just like insulting these people. Which was a little interesting. I'm not sure if I really agreed with insulting everything. But
discover what you've discovered. I'm not sure insulting is probably the best way to go about it. But I'm just saying, like, hey man, do you?
I mean, clearly he felt like he could take care of himself, which he does because two cops pull up. And they also have the skeleton face. Now, mind you, we're saying the skeleton face as if everybody is that way. No, there are still normal people. That newspaper stand that we were talking about, there was obviously a clerk there, to handle everything, and he looked normal. He had no idea what this guy was looking at.
What he's bugging off of.
Well, yeah, what he's bugging. So these cops come out. And they basically say, now why don't you come with us down to the station? We have no problem smashing your face in, doing all the police brutality threats and whatnot. And he winds up getting one of their guns and shoots both of them. No problem.
No problem.
So I want you to think about what this actually looks like from our eyes and not the eyes of somebody with the glasses on. This is a guy who has walked into a grocery store, insult a lady there, everybody kind of gangs up on him, walks out of said grocery store, insults another person, gets kind of pulled over by cops or detained, and shoots the cops. So now we're talking cop killer at that point.
That would be the official term there.
Exactly. He's cop killer at that point. He walks into a bank after stealing...
Oh, please let me take this. Okay.
Oh, I will. He walks into a bank after stealing the shotgun. And Jay, take it over.
He walks into the bank with the shotgun. Now, mind you, this is me watching this movie for the first time. And imagine the look on my face when he walks in with the shotgun, scopes the whole crowd. Mind you, people are like, oh shit, he got a gun, right? But nobody's really like panicking yet. But
there's panic.
There's panic.
But they don't know what he's in there for.
Well, why are you here? Why do you have that?
Are you here to rob money? Why are you here?
Right. And so,
because he didn't say the words, everybody get on the ground.
Or I want the money, nothing. He just walks in the stairs at people. And so, when he gets that up close shot, after, scoping out the whole scene, and then you get the line, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum. And I'm all out of gum. Duke fucking Nukem, let's go. And so, he proceeds, starts shooting people. Like, what the?
I mean, he goes all out. Like,
starts shooting people.
Blasting everybody. He realizes these guys can die just like he can, with a simple bullet, no problem. Mm-hmm. And there's a guy that's in the corner there, and he's kind of there speaking into his watch, gives a full description of the guy, and as he goes and says, "Mama doesn't like tattletale."
Another great line.
The guy disappears in front of his eyes.
Right.
Didn't read too much into
He breaks outside. Once the police are coming, he breaks outside the back door, which he sees the little transmitter or something that's in the air that's floating, obviously that's communicating to a bigger signal.
Right.
Right. Which the hell throws you off. But at this point, he links up with he's on the run, and he links up with what's her name?
Holly.
Holly. Meets Holly. And
he kidnaps her, basically.
Yeah, he kidnaps Holly, makes Holly pretty much get him away from the scene. Holly takes him back to her place. Even that bit is a wild exchange because he asks her, "Are you married?" She goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Don't lie to me." Like, no, I'm not married. But the Holly scene, it sets up in a way to where you kind of see her being like his saving grace, and then it just takes the craziest turn because you're thinking she's locked in with him, and then the camera goes above as he's about to show her something.
Like a bird's eye view.
A bird's eye view, and knocks him the fuck out with a glass bottle.
Hold on. Spinning back fists him. This wasn't like a punch. Like she spun, hit him in the back, and throws him out, dodging the balcony in the process, and he lands on the ground, no problem.
Yeah.
But, I mean, lands face first, look like he's dead.
Looking like he's dead.
The next 2 minutes.
And shout out to Rodney Piper because he takes a hell of a beating in this movie.
Oh, he sure does.
I mean,
he sells it too.
Yeah,
he sells the shit out of it. That's why it's kind of hard for me to kind of like judge him on his acting because of course he's limited, but he's also kind of selling the parts that he needs to sell,
like throwing himself through shit
and the bubblegum line.
Yeah.
He really made that line good.
That was his line. That was definitely his line.
So we spend the next 2 minutes recovering, which actually I really like Carpenter doing this because, I just got thrown from a building. So this is very much like seeming like if I did survive this, I'm all sorts of fucked up right now.
I'm in a tremendous amount of pain.
He goes back to the construction site that he was hired at where he tries to meet up with Frank again. And Keith David wants like nothing to do with him. He was like, I got a family. I got 2 kids. I got my wife and 2 kids back in Detroit. I got to look out for myself here, man. And so he goes.
That's right.
He's like, all right. So he goes back to where he hid the other boxes of glasses because in the process of getting thrown out of the building, the sunglasses that he left there, which is again really good storytelling here. It's left there. It's left there, and he goes and he gets this like other box of glasses. Come to find out, they've been thrown away into the garbage truck. Luckily, the garbage truck is still there, so he snatches 2 glasses at that point, where Keith David has basically followed him at this point, and gives him a week of pay, to kind of help him out, and then says, "I want nothing to do with you." What proceeds is one of the best fights I've seen in an 80s movie, let alone any movie for a while.
One of the longest damn fights ever.
Because I want you guys to keep in mind of something. This movie is 92 minutes long. 92 minutes. So for the next 6 minutes of this movie, Keith David and Roddy Piper are fighting. And I mean, it's a fight. Like there are jabs being thrown, there are hooks being thrown, kidney shots, suplexes.
Knees to the nuts, man.
Knees to the nuts! Are you kidding me?
Multiple times.
Way too many times. And I mean, they both look like they were out of it at one point. Back suplex, all of it. Like going all out for it. And the entire point of this fight was so that Keith David could put on the fucking sunglasses. That was the only point.
The entire point of this fight.
The only point.
Just put them on, man. Let's stop fighting. Put it on.
The only point was to put on the sunglasses. And the reason why I think that's important is because he's literally trying to show him the world that exists out there. And will do everything to expose it, to have one person believe him, including fighting that person. David obviously puts the sunglasses on, sees the world for what it is, and freaks out kind of like him.
Well, okay, so this fight. So when you
scale of 1 to 10, how was this fight for you?
Oh, it's like an 8, 9 because like for number one, they fight for so long.
They do fight because they fight for really long. I know kung fu movies that don't fight for this long.
Bruh, a street brawl is about 30 seconds max for most people. Like, but there's nobody out there to break it up. So it's like, all right, so every time you think that a fight is done, one of them kind of like snaps out of it like, ah! They go back at it again. It's like, so you let it be like, are they still fucking fighting?
Yeah. I kind of really enjoyed that.
And the point, and the point of it all is to put on a pair of glasses.
According to Carpenter, they shot this movie in 8 weeks. 3 weeks of that was particularly for that fucking fight scene. Yes! Thank you.
The rest just don't matter. This fight scene needs to be epic. Like, both of y'all are going to get fucked up in this fight scene.
And they do get fucked up.
Yes. I do love the, once he discovers, like, what he's telling the truth, they walk into the hotel, hella like Iketina style. I'm like, in your room. Fuck happened to y'all?
No, you don't get to ask that question.
No. Fuck happened to y'all?
They basically meet up with the guy that they were introduced to earlier in this movie, and come to find out he's part of this resistance and was trying to help out the church and whatnot, to try to expose the truth and whatnot. And they all meet up at this meeting, where in the meeting Holly is there, and Holly's just kind of hanging out, there and whatnot. And Roddy goes to kind of talk with her, and she was like, I'm so scared. I didn't realize, this was all going on. Assuming that she put on the sunglasses, of course. Mm-hmm. And suddenly all hell breaks loose. And when I mean all hell breaks loose, like the army comes into this church and starts shooting everybody. Now, let me be fair here. There are some definite stormtrooper moments in here, because they got the job. They should have all been dead. But of course, our heroes can't die quite yet. So they go.
So, stick around.
So they go after everybody's pretty much been gunned down except for and Holly's kind of disappeared in this process. They were able to snatch a watch off of one of the Deadites, I'll just call them, and by using the watch opens up a very tiny little hole, a portal that goes into this tunnel, and in the tunnel they go and they arrive to this banquet, mm-hmm. And in this banquet, the announcements of how everybody's salary has gone up by 39%, and how they just stopped the terrorist group who here in the West Coast, so nobody has to live in crisis mode anymore. And as they're watching this banquet, thinking everybody's just kind of fine with them, the guy from the video, the guy from the video that was telling him about all this threat and whatnot, yeah, come to find out he switched sides. Yeah, he got paid off. He's sold out. No problem selling out. So in the meeting beforehand, they had heard about. By the way, they also got contact lens to basically see them without the.
Which is what I thought was one of the most clever parts of the movie. Like, it is clever. That's why you no longer need sunglasses.
Right.
There you go.
Because you got contact lens now. In the process of this going out, they find out that maybe if they destroy the signal, everybody can see everybody for who they really are. Right, because that's the whole point. Like the signal kind of like acts as a barrier almost.
Right,
they can't see people who for what they are, and they basically kind of talk their way into this TV studio, because everybody thinks that they're on their side now, and of course they're not. They decide to kind of break stuff open. And Jay, go ahead and take it from here.
I love this part because. There's another incredibly awkward moment. Both Nada and I can't think of Keith Davis. Frank. They walk to this one room full of people, and it's also like two guys with shotguns. We probably should run,
right?
But no one's really like they're panicked. They're like, "What's next?
Is this normal?
Like, what do we do?" So they walk through, and. And this is where I'll give Roddy Piper his acting chops because he's able to control this scene. Walks by, asks the lady about a certain location. She gives him that information. Okay, thank you, darling. Have a great day. Like
right. Does a little hand tap to her and then
keeps him moving. So I'm like, okay, all right, I'll give you that. Now at this point, shit is about to start going down.
And they're curious if Holly, or at least he's curious if Holly is still around. Which by the way, they find Holly.
Holly's back. Now,
Holly's back.
Here's my problem with this. I don't trust Holly for shit. And what takes place afterwards didn't shock me. But a shootout basically begins. They're knocking back, who we are led to believe are the aliens or whatever the case may be. And then they're making their way to the roof. And once Nada gets to the roof, you have Frank, securing Holly, securing the perimeter to make sure everything's clear. And in a little sudden twist out of nowhere, Holly pulls out her gun and shoots Frank. What?
It literally comes out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
There's like 7 minutes left to there's like 7 minutes left to this movie at this point. It's like what the fuck? I did not see that coming.
Like, what?
They actually did Holly so well in this because they left enough clues for it to seem like she was on their side. And then of course, no doubt about it, like she's not.
But not only that, like we were led to believe that Frank just may make it out of this. And then what the crazy thing is, like, you're left to kind of, what? Because once the shots let off, the scene immediately changes. It goes to not on the roof.
So Nod is on the roof. Holly pulls a gun, says you can't win this. There's no way that you can win. Put your gun down. And as a helicopter is coming up by the way, and Nada has sneaked a gun for himself within his, I guess in his jacket or sweater. And pulls out said gun and shoots Holly and kills her before she can get a shot off. The dudes in the helicopter shoot Nada. Nada, in the process of getting shot, shoots down the signal,
mm-hmm.
flips off the helicopter, and
genius,
and dies. And then the signal is disrupted. So the first thing you see is these television anchors, and suddenly they're these hideous monsters. Everybody's confused about what's going on. They look over into a bar, and in the bar, there's one of them just hanging out, having a normalized drink, and everybody's just kind of looking at him. And he realizes he's in a God, what's the name of that movie? Oh, he's an elf. You know, an elf when he's like reading the Christmas list,
mm-hmm.
and there's like that one guy in the bar. And the dude's just kind of sitting there like, I can't believe he just listed off what I wanted for Christmas, because everybody's like weirded out by like what he wanted. It was like a full treatment spa or something like that.
And the craziest thing was that particular shot when the one alien's in the bar and it's this chick, like everybody's kind of like looking around like, the fuck is this? Because you have the ones that are reacting to the TV.
Right.
Others are looking at this dude. But one in particular is this chick that's literally sitting behind him.
Right.
Who doesn't fucking blink. Like, she just, what is this? You know what I'm saying? And the whole time he's sitting there with his beard in his hand like, I don't see what the problem is. Oh, they can see us? Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. I gotta get out of here.
I gotta go. They can actually see us? Oh, shit.
And the final shot is of this woman.
Oh, the final shot is great.
The final shot is of this woman with really nice titties. You know, clearly.
Pink nipples.
With pink nipples, you know, just you know, on the dude. Like saying up on this guy, and there's a sign that's right behind it, and the sign says "Marry and reproduce," right? And she goes and you know she's feeling the moment. She looks down, and it's one of the Deadites just kind of sitting there. He's all like, "What's the matter, baby?" And then that's how it ends.
And that's They Live. Oh, wow. Wow.
There's a lot to talk about with this movie.
I'm definitely at a loss for words when it comes to like the way the movie just ends.
Real quick. So some of the things with this movie is so relevant to 2019. Mm-hmm. When you consider like conspiracy theories or and it doesn't really matter what side of the line that you kind of that you kind of sit on there, but it's basically us. Like, we all live in this, like, paranoid world. Like, when Brett Kavanaugh, you know, speculated that these women's stories of sexual assault were just revenge on behalf of the Clintons, you know, it's stuff like that. Like, it's so low. It's so low budget that's almost too easy for them to say it. Now, in 2015... Carpenter went on Yahoo and says, "Oh, that's not a movie. That's a documentary." like he just called it for what it was. And in 1988, there was a making of documentary where he basically sounds like Bernie Sanders, and he says, "All of the aliens are members of the upper class, the rich, when they're slowly exploiting the middle class and everybody's becoming poorer." It's kind of the theme and a message to it, but it's still just an action film. And I kind of feel that because in a sense that really makes a lot of sense with this. You know, in so many ways, like you only see the aliens as the elite and rich, and they talk about how everybody's kind of a slave to them, and they just kind of serve them. And hey, you're gonna be bought off anyway. You're gonna sell out at some point in your life. Why not be on the winning side?
That's another great line.
When that line dropped, I was like, "Oh my god, he's absolutely right. Why wouldn't I go for the winning side? Why have a moral compass at all?"
So let's get to some takeaways here. I'm very curious to know.
What did you think?
Oh, you know what? Honestly, it was because it was my first time seeing it.
It was my first also.
I was definitely surprised by how much it does relate to current, present day. Now just judging on a 1980s at this point cult classic, it's so much fun.
It is
because you enjoy your lead, you enjoy his sidekick, and the way things are revealed is just, oh, this is either you love it or you hate it. It's cheesy regardless, but it's good cheese.
It was good cheese.
It's good cheese.
It really is. Let's get into some takeaways.
Who's giving you that guy work?
I am going to give it to Nada. There's a part of me that wants to give it to Keith David, but Keith is just kind of along for the ride. He hasn't made a master plan yet. Nada, though, I kind of have to give the conviction of Roddy here a little bit because he's like, no, I don't like this at all, and I'm going to kill everything and insult everything that I possibly can, which is pretty much every action game that came out in the 1990s. So, yeah, it's going to go to Nada. Roddy Piper, congratulations, bud.
That chick worked.
They only really developed one chick. There's actually two chicks that they kind of developed, but the other one wasn't very memorable. Holly. Holly's reveal at the end, even though I kind of guessed it because I've been watching so many movies, and I'm sure others would probably guess it as well, They really did a good job of waiting till the very end to kind of show the turn. Like all of a sudden, because it happened so sudden, they like that you didn't have enough time to like process that she turned. It's like, oh, and then you're at the final scene. But yeah, Holly for sure.
That Fuller Ward.
I kind of have to give it to the bearded man, which that's just his name. His name is the bearded man, because dude, you're still a sellout at the end of the day. Like for all that talk of like, no, we can't be slaves to this. Well, hey. If we're gonna be slaves to this, at least I can make sure I get paid.
I'm trying to be on the winning team, baby. Don't get left behind. Cut that out.
The first 30 minutes of the movie really could have been sped up.
We could have really breezed right through this.
They did a really good job of trying to scene chew, which is nice because they actually try to kind of get you a sense of who Roddy is. But honestly, they could have cut that down a good 10 minutes. And I still felt like I would have had the same impact from the film.
And Iconic Scene?
The first time he puts on the sunglasses. I really want to give it to the fight, but it's really the first time he puts on the sunglasses because at this point, you know, you're not knowing where this movie is going. It's like, okay, the government just came in and killed everybody. Where's this movie going? And he goes, he puts on the sunglasses, and the first thing he sees is Obey. And it's like, it's everything that's ever screamed to me as a person, you know, of stuff that's like, of stuff that's never made sense. Anytime somebody's like, oh, you should get married. And it's like, that's what I say. You see, marriage and procreate.
Right.
Obey. Okay, well, I'll obey. You know, non-creative ideas, conformity, you know, assimilation. You know, all those ideas, like it's literally presented in film right there, and it works. It works really well. Mm-hmm. It also kind of feels like a 1950s film at that point. Mm-hmm. So it feels like a callback to the Twilight Zone almost. Like you're sitting there, and it's like you're watching an episode of the Twilight Zone at that point, and it could have really gone a different way. Honestly, I don't know if I would have gone with the action film if it was my personal opinion, but I kind of like it. I kind of like the action film as well because hey, there's nothing wrong with the 80s movies. I'm sorry if you have a problem with the 80s movies, you are not a human being.
I mean, not only that, but like the 80s gave you so much nostalgia, even the way the guns are being shot, the way the punches came through, like it was.
They were really clever. He was really clever on the shots of the gun because obviously we know that the guns are not going off, but they have to make it look like they're going off. So like towards the end, they do a close up of just like the barrel, and the barrel's vibrating just enough to make it look like it's actually being shot out. And I'm like, yeah, man, like good shit, man. Good shit for low budget. That's
super low budget, but that's how you make a low budget stretch.
Right. That's what you do. Like you got to get those shots, you know, to make it low budget work. My guy Jay Alonso, who's getting you That Guy Award?
That Guy Award is going to go to I'm going to give it to Frank. Reason why you're introduced to Frank, you don't know much about him. You just know that he has a wife and kids back in Detroit, and he does it for them. He looks like your everyman of Los Angeles. And we're not saying that that's where this place takes place, but he's dressed, he acts like your everyman in Los Angeles. And you kind of want to see him ride it out all the way to the end, up to the point where we're like the last 5 minutes of the movie, and he just eats it. Like, fuck! I thought he had a shot.
Yeah, you felt something there.
You know?
Sure.
So, definitely, and then he stuck with him. Even got to a crazy fist fight, beat his ass twice.
And also got
his ass beat twice. So, you know, pretty fair. But yeah, I'm going to go with Frank.
That chick award.
Holly. You know, she's a ride or die for herself.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That fool.
Yeah.
That's about as good of a description.
Like for herself.
There's so many ex-girlfriends I can say that about right now.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That Fuller Award.
That Fuller Award is gonna go to the bearded man for sure. Though he does have a great point. At the same time, like you're a fucking sellout.
Right.
Like you'd rather serve than fight for what's right.
Mama don't like tattletales. Cut that out.
Cut that out. Yeah, the first 30 minutes of the movie easily. I find myself just like not interested in seeing where it goes because with most sci-fi movies, especially the ones of the 80s, unless you're already committed to watching this all the way through, the first 15 minutes is everything. If you can't grabbed me in the first 15 minutes, and it's already a bunch of shit I need to like learn and know.
Right.
That's not the most easiest digestible, but the fact that I stuck with it, and really I carry that to you because your excitement for the movie, like you didn't get to this one part. Oh man, watch this part.
It was literally I'm not going to throw you under the bus here, but it was like when I literally asked you, where were you in the movie? You're like, I'm in the first 30 minutes. I was like, okay, so you didn't get to minute 31 then. Like you're at minute 30.
I'm literally at minute 30
because you need about another 2 minutes, and this movie's going to turn itself upside down. And you're like, all right. And then your entire reaction changed with the movie.
It was a lot of holy shits. Like, oh my God. Wow.
That was this from that?
Like, they're still fucking fighting. You ain't tired yet?
Iconic scene.
I gotta go with the fight.
That's fair.
I gotta go with the fight. It was funny because this movie, of the many things that it's known for, that fight is one of those things.
Oh yeah.
And I sat outside watching it. I'm like, they're really out here like fighting. Wow, they're still going. They're still going. Like they're still fighting. And the whole point of it all was put on the damn glasses, man.
Right.
You know. But it kind of showed. It's the weirdest thing. It showed them with their differences and also kind of bonding in a weird way.
Yeah.
Because it's like at this point now, like I trust you enough to beat the shit out of you and let you beat the shit out of me, so I can at least show you I'm not crazy. You know. So yeah, I gotta go with the fight.
Enjoy it.
So let's get into some quick hits. We can wrap this thing up. Quick hits. All right. The line, I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum, was ad-libbed by Roddy Piper. According to director John Carpenter, Piper had previously written the line in his notebook of potential verbal bits during his wrestling career. He shared the notebook with Carpenter, and they agreed that this particular line fit the character and the film perfectly. Piper went on to use it at a wrestling match.
The role of Nada was originally written for Kurt Russell. I fucking called it. Yeah, and I just read this. John Carpenter felt he should cast somebody else after casting Russell in 3 of his films prior to this one, which was Escape from New York in 1981, The Thing in 1982, and one of my personal favorites, Big Trouble in Little China in 1986.
Right. Roddy Piper, being a married man at the time of filming, refused to take his wedding band off. That's why in several scenes you can see a wedding ring on. That's what you call loyalty.
Oh, yeah.
Many movie posters for the film featured a long blurb that read, "You see them on the street. You watch them on TV. You might even vote for one this fall. You think they're people just like you. You're wrong. Dead wrong."
Carpenter brought real homeless folks into the production for several scenes and smaller characters and gave them food as well as paychecks. I thought that was a pretty classic thing to do, says Roddy Piper.
And finally, graffiti artist Shepard Fairey got his Obey name from this film. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Didn't that become a clothing line as well, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Like Osiris Shoes picked it up. It was... You want to know what he's known for? For those of you who don't know who Shepard Fairey is, you know the Hope poster of Barack Obama? Mm-hmm. That's Shepard Fairey.
Thank you, Shepard Fairey.
For creating like the most iconic political poster I've ever seen.
With that being said, this was fun. We're not doing 2 shows next week. Thank you, God.
Yeah, I need a break.
But let the good people know where they can find you.
You know, just find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook under David Danger Neff. I'm the co-host here at Back to the Classics, as well as part moderator of the Back to the Classics Facebook group, as well as Spoiling the Classics. I do have some material that is going to be coming up. There is going to be some format changes with the show next year, which we are very excited to actually do, and so on and so forth. That pretty much kind of covers me, my guy, Jay Alonzo. Where can they find you? You
can find me on all the social media, simply at I am Jay Alonzo. That's Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. You talk to me and I'll talk back. Of course, the Back to the Classics. Oh, you already said it. You literally just said it.
Oops, sorry.
It's all good. Fuck it. Yeah, so go on there for sure. And, of course, turn my mic up, every Friday. Debut episode is tomorrow. Check it out. Let us know what you think.
As well as support the rest of our Beat Network shows, The Noise and Melanin Boulevard.
Yeah, we got some stuff coming up, man.
We got some great things that are coming up. For those of you who are interested into podcasting, want to start off 2020 and on the right foot, let us know. BeatNetworkOnline.com/Beat Studios. Let's help you out. Let's get your show running and popping.
Oh, and to answer the fan question I got the other day, actually, I got an inbox on IG. Will we be doing another Oscar show? You bet your ass we're going to do another Oscar show.
It will be live streamed. I can tell you right now, it will more than likely, hopefully, be on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and possibly on the official Twitch account, which I have actually made.
Simultaneously.
So let's find out what kind of happens there, and you guys kind of make a decision there. If you guys want us to play a drinking game, please let us know now so we can prep ourselves a little bit.
Or at least let me think about it. Like, let me get us some thought.
Last year was a little rough.
That was
Anyways,
yeah,
that's
right.
back to the classics, people.
Back to classics, everybody. Thank y'all once again. Shout out to the fan. What's his name? Nick Upaleski. Thank you for the awesome suggestion, sir. I really enjoyed this movie. So thank you very much for the suggestion. With that being said, this is Back to Classics. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.